James Gill with Gill Nursery. We're going to do our first little thing on how to prune after this freeze. And the thing that you can do immediately, herbaceous perennials, ferns, shrimp plant, flax lily, things that don't have woody stems. We can see that they're dead, or in this case, almost dead. And it makes sense to just go ahead and cut them to the ground right now. So Jimmy, let's show them how it's done. Okay, back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, ginger would go down to the ground every year. We'd cut it back to the ground. It comes back great, looks beautiful that season. Since the 2000s, we very rarely have a freeze, and so people don't know what they're dealing with, but believe me, it works. We just cut it down short, 6 inches, 12 inches, haul it away, fertilize, it'll come back looking great. Hit it, Jimmy. Okay, so you don't have to have power shears. It makes the job easier. You can even do it with just a little hand pair of shears, or loppers might be better. You could even try a chainsaw, but they will need to be cut down, and it's ready to be done now. Okay, so this morning we had 7 big old leaves hanging down off of this queen's palm. The petioles, the stems had crimped and were hanging loose. Well, there's no reason to leave those on the tree, so we went ahead and cut them off. It's not like it's an emergency, but it's going to make you feel better about the way your palm looks. We're going to talk a lot more in a future issue of this about long-term care of these frozen palms, because we can't cover it all right now, and it's not something you need to do right now. Woody shrubs like this porterweed, or like a lot of people are asking about hibiscus, bougainvillea, those are things you might want to wait a few more days on. I just scratched this porterweed and I see some green underneath the bark, but it's a sickly yellowish green, and I know over the next couple of days that's going to turn brown. What I'm wanting to do on those woody shrubs is just gently scratch away the bark. You can use your thumbnail or a dime, and you keep going down, 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 closer to the ground until you find a rich dark green. That's where the tissue is still alive. You can have all the leaves dead, but you may still have live tissue, which will produce healthy new growth. So we don't want to cut any shorter than we have to. We'll wait a few days, we'll do that testing, and we'll cut it as low as we need to. Okay, citrus, we're not going to go into depth right now. There's definitely going to be some damage. It's going to take a while for us to be able to tell how far down it's dead. I'll talk about pruning, I'll talk about how far, I'll talk about the graft, I'll talk about sprouts, I'll talk about fertilization. That'll be in a future issue. Okay, people are freaking out about this freeze. Things really do look horrible. It's not the end of the world. The older folks among us have been through this many times before, and there's a lot of cutting to do, and then watering and fertilizing, and things will come back beautiful. You'll lose a few plants. That gives you space to plant something new. Hey, that's great. And then a lot of your old plants are going to be cut close to the ground, but by the end of summer they'll look pretty good. So don't lose heart. Things are going to be okay.